Live from the Business RadioX studio inside Renaissance Bank, the bank that specializes in understanding you. It's time for North Fulton Business Radio.
And hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of North Fulton Business Radio. I'm John Ray, and folks, we are broadcasting from inside Renaissance Bank in beautiful Alpharetta. And if you're tired of that mega bank experience, and if you're at one of those banks, you know what I'm talking about, computer-generated voices, and they don't ever answer the phone. Hey, if you want a better experience for your business when it comes to your banking experience, give Renaissance Bank a try. In fact, go to renaissancebank.com and find one of their local offices and give them a call. And I think what you'll find is real people answer the phone, and that's just the start of a personal relationship and how they do business. I know that because I have worked with them with some of my clients, and that's how they work with you all throughout the process of the services that they provide. So go to renaissancebank.com, be in touch, and I think you'll be glad you did. Renaissance Bank, understanding you, member FDIC. And now I want to welcome Molly Holway and Matthew Bent. Molly and Matt are with Three Sisters Catering. Molly, Matt, welcome.
Thank you. So nice to be here, and thank you for having us on your show. I'm super excited.
I am been looking forward to this because one of my favorite subjects is food. So let's get to it.
Okay, mine too.
Yeah. Let's talk a little. Give everyone an introduction to Three Sisters Catering.
Three Sisters Catering has been in business. We're in our 14th year, and we are a full-service, off-premise catering company, meaning if you are having a celebration, an office party, an in-home party, wedding, bar, bat mitzvah, we bring the party to you. The food, the equipment, the staff, everything you need, we bring it to your location.
Wow. You're the complete outsourced solution.
We are.
For fun.
Absolutely.
And great food.
Yes.
I love that. Why did you start this business, Molly?
I have been in the business, the off-premise catering business, going on, I think, around 35, 36 years, and have worked for several companies throughout Atlanta. And about 14 years ago, I wanted to venture out on my own. I thought, gosh, I can do this. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know what the ins and outs of it. So I partnered with my two other sisters who have now retired, and we started from ground zero and started building this small boutique off-premise catering company. Mm-hmm. And we have grown, so much through the past 14 years.
Okay, you've been doing something right.
Yeah.
What is the secret to that success and that growth? I know Matthew's one of the answers to that question.
I was just going to say the team.
Yeah.
The team, the family. Chef Matthew is our executive chef. He's been with me almost since day one.
Wow.
And, with Chef Matthew, he's had just, the wherewithal to hire great sous chefs. Mm. We've got an incredible sales team, an incredible ops team. We keep it a little bit small, tight, but everybody has their position in the company, and we all come together to create a wonderful product.
Wow.
Yeah.
Matt, let's come to you. You're the executive chef. Talk about what you were up to before you came to Three Sisters Catering. What's your background?
Well, thanks for having me this morning.
Absolutely.
So my background started in Jamaica, sunny island of Jamaica.
Yeah.
I was working for Sandals Resorts.
Okay.
And started there, learned a bunch of stuff, but then I needed something more. So I decided to come to the States. I was working for Best Buy. Did not like it. I was selling washers and dryers. I did not like it. And one night I saw this chef walk in. I was like, I got to go talk to this guy. I got to help him. So I helped him out, talked to him, got me a job at this one place. He gave me a phone number. I called it, went there, The guy was like, we love you. Here's another raise. The first day.
Wow.
So
look at you.
So after that, I started working there, left Best Buy, started working there, took that guy's job.
Uh-huh.
And
did you?
Just started progressing.
Uh-huh.
I got the opportunity to reopen one of Atlanta's nicest restaurants. It's right there at PDK, the 57 Fighter Group restaurant. Got the chance of reopening that. And then the chef that was there, he knew Molly and them, and he's like, hey, you want to come on over and help us out over here?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, that's a nice opportunity. And 13 years later, here I am, still with Molly and enjoying every bit of it.
That's wonderful.
And likewise to him,
yeah,
enjoying it.
That's awesome.
Great team.
That's awesome. What I'm curious, what do you like about the catering business versus working in a restaurant?
So what I love about catering is I'm not doing the same thing every single day. You know, in a restaurant, you can put out specials nightly, but that's about it. Mm-hmm. But in catering, one day I might be in the middle of a field with no running water. We've got to figure out how we're going to get water out there, all of that. And then the next night, we'll probably be in one of the finest kitchens in Atlanta. So it really keeps you on your toes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So to talk about, I'm interested in this from both of you. I think that a lot of people think they know about the catering business because they eat your product, right?
Correct.
Talk about the things that people don't know about catering that you wish they knew.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. They eat our product, but what goes in to producing that product and getting it to our customer to be able to enjoy it is probably goes into production 2 weeks prior to their event date. I mean, we, have several production meetings about our client's event that involve culinary, operations, production, staffing, and to collaborate with the sales manager who, has been working with our customer for that party and is the liaison between culinary and production. But, just from a, culinary standpoint, the ordering of the food, the mise en place, the starting of the production to produce that food starts 3 to 4 days prior to it even, being put onto that truck.
Right.
And, and from an operation standpoint, everything from, hiring the staff to go work a customer's party, getting vehicles to go to that party, to the loading of the vehicles, driving to the party, unloading, setting the party up, managing the party, then breaking it all down and coming back. It's a huge process that I always say, catering is heavily influenced by logistics and operations, but our beautiful food is your final product.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
There's so much that happens underneath the surface.
100% that people really don't realize what goes on.
If I could add to that
too,
please.
John. Yeah.
What a lot of people don't recognize as well is that you can call up your local restaurant and order something. Mm-hmm. And that's not really dealing with a sales manager. You're just dealing with somebody taking an order. Mm-hmm. But dealing with catering, especially with our business, you have access to a sales manager whenever. And what I always tell clients as well is you always have access to me through your sales manager. Mm-hmm. Versus a restaurant, you call them, just order something, and then that's where it ends. There's no relationship or anything.
But
right. But we are bent on making relationships and making everything work how you want it to work. Yeah. Make your vision come through.
Absolutely.
So having that team, though, I would think is also one of those things that people don't get. It's because, the process, but to make that process work, you've got to have the team you mentioned. So I want you to talk about just I don't want to hear from both of you on this, the how you've built that culture in your business that allows you to be so successful and retain the people that you have over time.
You know, I've learned through the years, and my number one, I think, strong management ability is to let my team members have a voice for their ideas, their suggestions, and truly let them have that voice with me having open ears. I give them a lot of freedom to do their job with minimal micromanagement, but always being available to them for whatever they need. I consider myself a little bit behind the scenes so that they can get out and shine and do their job, but I give them the tools and whatever they need to be able to do that.
Right.
I 100% trust them. And if I didn't, they would not be on my team. And I trust every one of the people on my team. I offer, really flexible schedules. I'm not a micromanager, like you can't take this day off because you took a day off the other day. I let them have a life. I let them enjoy their families and their hobbies and their passions outside of our company, and I support that. And I think that's one of the reasons why we have such longevity in my company, because everyone has been there 5 years and over, and even through the pandemic.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. And so I'm super grateful for that. And for me and my team, that's what works, is just the freedom and the ability to be creative, be responsible, and know that they've got the support from me they need day or night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt, you want to comment on that?
Sure. So I think a lot of what helps us as well, we treat each other like family.
Yeah.
We don't treat each other like a number. I don't even go around saying Molly's my boss or anything. I just address her as Molly. So everybody can really relate to each other, and nobody's holding each other down. If I see that you need help, I'm going to come and help you. It's not hey, that's not my job. We're all in this together to get the final product that everybody wants. Yeah.
Wow. That's terrific. And this is, speaking of something that clients maybe don't get, they don't get this, the importance of this, right? I mean, they're thinking about the product, they're thinking about food, but you've got to have this cohesive team culture to really, when the chips are down, because you've got to deliver at a certain time, a certain place, right? In whatever happens, which can be a lot of things.
It can.
You've got to be able to make it happen, and the team's got to execute.
Absolutely. And like, Matt said, we all work together. I mean, just for an example, I own the company, and we all laugh about this, but in 2022, 2021, and, post-pandemic, I was the main dishwasher because we couldn't find staff to wash dishes. Or, we had a busy week and weekend, and the chefs need to keep moving with prepping and cooking, but they need someone to wash all their pans and sheet pans. That was me. We all pitch in. If I need help with something or moving something or, painting the office baseboards, the chefs will come in and do it. Hang the blinds. We all work as a team. And like Matt said too, I can't even say we're family. And we are. And we truly love each other and care about each other and respect each other.
Wow. So let's talk. You touched on it briefly about this process, but let's just talk about how it all works, right? So I'm a client. I call you up and say, "Hey, I've got this event. I've got X number of people. It's going to be such and such a place." How does it all work from beginning to end?
Here's how it works. So you are going to work with the sales manager, and they are going to, ask you the questions. Who, what, where, when, why, meaning, date, time, location, and get an idea of what your vision is for your event. And then they're going to...
Can I stop you right there?
Yes.
The why is really important, right?
It very much is.
Yeah.
100.
Because people focus on the other pieces of it and not the why, which gets at the experience, right?
Well, it does. And then that, helps us determine what type of menu or, we're going to suggest to you.
Right.
Are you having a private home dinner for, 20 people, or you having a wedding for 400 at a venue, or are you just having a few people over, for a happy hour or whatever at your home, and you don't need full service meaning, trucks, equipment, staff. You just need food that, we can help you with, that you can come and pick up, which comes from our new catering to go menu.
Right.
So, the why is just as important as the who, what, where, when.
Well, and even the wedding.
Yeah.
I mean, it may be a second wedding. It may be, a young lady just out of college. I mean, weddings are different, right? So
weddings are very different, very personal.
Right.
Oh, very personal.
Right.
There is no wedding the same.
Yeah.
The tastes are different. The styles are different. The vibe is different. The price point is different. The dietary restrictions are different. The service style, everything is different.
Jump in here, Matt.
And just to elaborate a little bit on the why, sometimes people say to Molly, I've listened to her do this before, saying, "Can I have a coffee station?" And Molly say, "Why would you do that?" And you're like, "What do you mean?" Well, nobody drinks coffee anymore. So Molly, with the trust that she gets from our clients, she'll say, "Spend your money on food. Don't waste your money on coffee," and they'll listen.
Yeah.
So that has a lot to do with how we treat our clients as well.
Yeah.
And then, back to the coffee thing is, people feel they have to have coffee at a wedding. Well, people aren't drinking coffee at a wedding. They're whooping it up with some cocktails.
Right.
And some great food. And I'm like, I don't want you to waste your money on coffee.
Yeah.
If you want us to have a pot of coffee in the back
Sure.
for the two people that might want to have coffee,
Right.
I'll do that.
Yeah. For Uncle Joe, that's about it, right?
Yeah. And Grandma Ethel.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, we'll just bring up a coffee pot. Don't worry about it. My treat. Spend your money on food.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so you have this discovery conversation. Then what happens? So that they book you. What happens?
First, and after the discovery, what we like to do is send our potential customer some sample menus that Chef has written. We have menus for cocktail parties, dinners, corporate menus, whatever it is. And that gets our customer thinking about food. Okay, gosh, I'm seeing all these menus. What do I want? And that helps them zero in on some options that they can come back to us and say, "Oh my gosh, I like this and this and this and this." Then we start the proposal phase. So we'll create a proposal based on your wants and needs, and let our client look it over. Then comes a tweaking phase. That happens 2-3 times. Let's take this off. I want to add this. this person, can we do something, gluten-free? Sure, we can. So we'll kind of add that. And once that's a little bit settled, we ask for a commitment, contract, and a deposit. Mm-hmm. And then we invite our clients in for a tasting. And that's when it gets fun for them.
Oh, wow.
We do.
Okay.
And a tasting is basically where they come into our kitchen tasting room. And chef prepares several items that they have chosen from their menu that they want to taste. Mm. The tasting is essential because, number one, they get to taste the great food, but number two, they get to meet Matt and his team who are preparing the food. Mm. And that's when a real, confidence is just at an all-time high when they meet him. And he presents the food. He talks about it. If the client wants to make any tweaks, this is too hot. Can we add more cheese to this? Which would be my thing. Blah, 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 blah. But that's kind of the process.
Right.
And then, once that's done, we do walkthroughs at wherever the event is going to take place with our sales team, our ops team, the client, and any other vendors they have. And so then, that solidifies the parties. All the vendors are on the same page. And then up to about 2 weeks prior, they're deep into production on it. Mm. We're talking about it. We're staffing it. We're ordering equipment. Matt's getting his food orders together. And that's the basic process.
Yeah.
So it's not a 1 day phone call. It's back and forth for weeks, sometimes months, sometimes a year. Mm-hmm. I mean,
depending on the event.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Mm-hmm. It is. I mean, we just did a corporate party last week for 700 people that was booked, I think, 30 days out, maybe?
Yep.
And so that had to be a very quick turnaround. Mm-hmm. But corporate normally is quicker than a wedding or a mitzvah because it's, not so detailed and so personal. But a wedding or a mitzvah might, book a year or two out in advance. Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love that, Matt, you have the ability to give people, I guess, a confidence, right? I mean, and that's I hadn't thought about that, right? Yes. But that where they can come in, meet you, they know exactly who's doing all this, and there's not this worry about what's going to happen when everybody shows up at the event.
Yes, that's true. And what I'd like to say about this too is a lot of companies are out there that the chefs just prepare the food. Nobody ever sees them. Mm-hmm. But with our company, the chef actually gets to talk to the clients. Mm. And who doesn't want the chef to come out and talk to them?
Right.
Talk to them, go through their menu with them, be with them every step of the way with their sales manager. And sometime we might have a client that says, my grandpa Joe used to make these great cheese balls. Would you be able to make them? Like, okay, do you have a recipe? Uh-huh. No, I don't have a recipe, but would you still be able to do it? Sure, we'll make it happen for you.
Yeah.
So we're there every step of the way with them. I remember doing this one wedding, and the bride and the groom, they wanted certain things specifically. And because the bride was vegetarian, went to her wedding, made sure everything was fine, stepped out of the kitchen, and the first thing the groom did was run over and hugged me and said, thank you.
Oh, wow.
And at that point, everybody's looking like, okay, who's this guy?
I love it.
Well, we love to treat our clients like family.
Yeah, what a great story. So what's the most unusual request that you've had for a menu item?
Most unusual request? There's not really anything that's unusual.
Well,
that's a great answer.
Or the client that had about 13 different dietary restrictions for her event. And kind of threw us for a loop. We're just like, okay, we've got gluten-free for 6 people, 4 people can't have dairy, 7 people can't have nuts, all of that. And Matthew looked at that, and he is just like,
I was like, what do we do? Give him an ice cube?
serious. Serious.
So,
And he made it happen.
okay.
He made it happen. But with that, it prompted him to put kind of a regulation on that. That, we've got to reel this in a little bit, because being a production kitchen and trying to feed 250 people,
Right.
and then have to backtrack and do all these special meals, as much as we try to accommodate that, there's got to be sort of a process for that. For sure.
And I'm not ashamed to say that sometimes I might just have to say to a client, hey, I'm not familiar with this. This is uncharted territory for me. I got to do some research.
Yeah.
And I'll get back to you. And do the research, put something together for them, and put their touch to it.
Yep.
Folks, we're here chatting with Molly Holway and Matthew Bent. And Molly and Matt are with Three Sisters Catering. So let's, I don't want to let the show to end without us getting to the catering to go. We'll come back to catering, but you're doing some catering to go. Let's talk about what that's all about.
Great. So during the pandemic, we had a lot of time to think and reflect. And when we came back from the pandemic, and, we were not at full staff yet, and it was, a slow process, but we noticed our clients wanted to entertain. They wanted to connect with their people, their families, their friends. And they were calling us, wanting, a party for 10 people, 12 people, 20 people. Well, when you're, producing a party for those, lower guest counts, it gets to be really expensive. And so Matt and I talked, and we came up with catering to go, where these customers with the lower guest counts can still have this fabulous food from our regular menus, but they don't have to have all the staff and trucks and equipment. They can come and pick up the food. And, Matt worked really hard on pulling items together to create a menu that was very user-friendly for our customer. Everything is plattered up, ready to go. All you have to do is lift the lid off the platter, and you're ready to serve. And we also offer hot items to be warmed, and we include reheat instructions. So it's just so easy that people can enjoy the beautiful food coming out of our kitchen without all the bells and whistles. And it is growing like wildfire.
Wow.
I have hired someone just to manage our catering to go orders.
Oh, wow.
And people are loving it. And it's just a great way to feed your guest at an affordable price. And you just can pick it up, take it home, and enjoy.
And folks, just so you've got an idea here, the catering to go menu's on the website.
It is.
Right. So how about roasted free-range chicken? How about bourbon soy glazed salmon? How about Mediterranean shrimp? How about 8-hour braised short ribs? I'm going to talk to you later about that, Matthew. No, I mean, that's what we're talking. We're talking about, yes. We're not talking about just a run of the mill. Yeah, exactly. We're talking about really some classy food for the folks that take advantage of that.
Absolutely. It's not like, going to the grocery store and picking up a cheese platter and a veggie crudité and maybe some, sliced roast beef and turkey. This is good food. I mean, short ribs, tenderloin, shrimp, salmon. We've got brunch items on there. We've got, Grub Pub on there. Something for everybody. And again, they can come and pick it up, take it home, serve it, and enjoy.
And you can mix and match. So, yeah, on the meats and veggies and sides and what have you, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Terrific.
Absolutely.
Terrific. So, so back to the traditional catering business. So let's talk about the types of events, clients that are best fits for you.
We do a huge social business. With that, I mean weddings, bar and bat mitzvahs, engagement parties, bridal showers, baby showers. Those are perfect customers for us. A perfect customer for us is someone that wants to entertain, to have really great food, really great service so they can be a guest at their own party. We literally come in, we will do everything for the food and beverage for your party, set it up, serve it, break it down, get our customer a glass of wine while they're upstairs getting ready for their guests to arrive, and we handle it all. We are now really focusing also on, our corporate business, our Monday through Friday business, which is really picking up post-pandemic and which is a great customer for the catering to go as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see how that would be. Well, let's talk about a success story. I think Matt mentioned one. I mean, when you get hugged by the groom, you're in pretty good shape there for sure. But maybe another success story or two of how the feedback that you got that in terms of how you made an event particularly special for a client.
Well, Matt said, and we were just talking about it, and maybe you want to say where we start doing generations of a family's celebrations.
Yeah, say more on that, Matt.
Yeah, so we're at a local wedding show not too long ago, and the mom and dad came over to us and said, "Hey, you did our daughter's wedding, and we would love if you would be able to do our son's wedding because we enjoyed it so much." So we're sticking with clients throughout their life.
Wow.
Because after a wedding, a lot of times a baby comes after that, and we end up doing the baby shower, then a birthday party, and life goes on and on.
Yeah, that's terrific. That's terrific.
And I'm going to say something, if you don't mind, too, is we have a huge repeat customer. We've never really spent a ton of time marketing and promoting ourselves other than, Matt producing fabulous food. Matt, Simon, and Jean are sous chefs. Peter in our operations department, with his staffing and making sure that everything's, pulled and on the vehicle to go to your party. But the amount of repeat business we have is just astronomical. And it's and referrals from those clients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, man.
For the repeat customers that Molly is talking about, during the holiday season, we have a lot of customers. But there's this one particular client. We will do her party on a specific day in December, and the next day she's putting her deposit for the next year.
Yeah.
She's
wow.
She's saying, "I do not want to be left out. I want to make sure I have my spot." So we have a lot of repeat clients.
Yeah, wow. That you can't get a better endorsement than that.
You kind of can't.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Let's talk about just the geographic area that you serve, because it I'm sure there's some radius around your location that you serve.
We really focus on downtown Atlanta, going north of the 400 corridor. We'll go into Cobb. We'll go into Brookhaven, Decatur. Really, really trying to make a huge focus on, the North Fulton area. That radius seems to be our hot spot.
Gotcha.
And, we've had customers call and say, hey, will you come way out here, which is about 50, 60 miles away, or, whatever.
Right.
And, I think, we like to refer that out to we call them frienders, that may be another catering company that we've worked with that is a little bit closer and has more resources in that area. I'm not saying we won't go, but sometimes it's just more cost effective for the customer based on their budget to do that. But, our hot spot is just Atlanta and surrounding counties.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's get to the most important question, because I'm hungry and I want to get on to the think about some of that. But no, I can't imagine there are some folks that have heard this interview that think I need to be in touch about my event. So let's give them directions on how to find you.
There's a couple ways. You can call our main line, 404-488-4565. Or if you want to visit our website, 3sisterscatering.com, there is a customer inquiry form that on the left-hand bar that you can fill out, and that comes directly to me and goes to our sales managers. So they come through me, and then distribute it to our sales managers.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Molly Holway, Matthew Bent. Molly is the general manager, founding partner of Three Sisters Catering, and Matthew's the executive chef in the Three Sisters Kitchen. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you all so much for coming in, and congratulations on your success. We're delighted we could shine a light on it.
Thank you for having us.
What
Absolutely.
a pleasure and an honor to be here.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hey, folks, just a quick reminder. If you've got some dysfunction back in your business kitchen, maybe you've got some dysfunction in your bookkeeping, or maybe you're spending too much time on administrative tasks or what have you, and that can really bog you down if you're a business owner. Well, I've got a suggestion for you. It involves the great folks at Office Angels. They have a whole team of angels that fly in and get some of that work done for you so you can spend time on the other parts of the business that are really important and help you drive what it is that you need to have, which are more clients and better client service. So go to officeangels.us to learn more, or better yet, just pick up the phone and give them a call, 678-528-0500. Let them know we sent you, and make that call knowing that I use them in my business and they're fantastic. I couldn't run my business without Office Angels, and I think you'll be glad you made that call. A couple other quick things as we wrap up here. I've got a book coming out later this year called The Price and Value Journey, Raising Your Confidence, Your Value, and Your Prices Using the Generosity Mindset Method. If you're a professional services provider and you have issues around pricing and positioning and confidence for your business, this may be a book for you. You may get value out of it. You can go to pricevaluejourney.com to learn more and sign up for updates for when that book comes out. And I want to give a big shout out to our audience, you, our listener. You've done we're so honored and grateful to you for continuing to support us. We're coming up on show number 700 of North Fulton Business Radio, and we've only gotten this far because of your support. So continue to do what you have always done. We'll be grateful for when you continue to share the show. If you've heard something here that makes you think you want to share the show, I can't imagine you haven't for this show, for somebody that needs catering services, please share the show and continue to follow us on social media and support us there. As we continue and you'll help us fulfill our mission to be the voice of business in the North Fulton region. So for my guest, Molly Holway, Matthew Bent, I'm John Ray. Join us next time here on North Fulton Business Radio.